Hey guys, Mike here. So obviously normally I don't put videos out on Saturdays, but I was up late last night, ran across something with Aunt Cathie, which I found was important, and then I was waiting for an event to happen today, which it somewhat did. So I'm kind of putting the two together for you to put it out there because this could be something you see on Monday per se. In the market that actually could move the market up. We'll see. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't, but you never know in this market, right? And so Cathie Wood at Ark Invest is really concerned about something, and that's what made me want to put this out, because normally she's this upbeat person, right? She's always positive about their beliefs, and if I don't care if it's storming outside, she's the kind of person who'll say, well, it's storming, but maybe it'll be sunny 2 hours from now, right? And I'm the guy who's a realist going, nope, the weather sucks, it's going to be terrible all day. Okay, but she's not that way. And so when she started showing these concerns about certain things, you can see it in her face that she was concerned. I thought, that's interesting. And maybe there is something to this after all. So let's go ahead and just get right into it and see what she's talking about.
Tomorrow, Saturday, the Senate is going to vote on the infrastructure bill, $550 billion. And it's a sensible infrastructure deal. It's all about infrastructure, which is what it should be from our point of view.
On this vote, the yeas are 67, the nays are 27. 3/5 of the senators duly chosen and sworn having voted in the affirmative, the motion is agreed to.
Now, the vote, however, has been hung up. It was supposed to take place on Thursday. But it was hung up, interestingly, by some controversy around crypto, how to pay for some of the infrastructure bill with taxes on cryptocurrencies and crypto assets. And we believe that behind the scenes, there's fierce lobbying taking place. We do believe that the financial services lobby is particularly strong and has the ear, especially after the crisis in 08-09, has the ear of a lot of politicians.
And this is what she's talking about. This is the financial institutions and how much they own Congress. As you can see, Citadel's at the top. You got Blackstone, Charles Schwab. This is the amount of millions they give not only the Democratic Party, the Republican parties, but also to conservative groups you can see in the bottom, liberal groups. I mean, it's just unbelievable amounts of money. And then if you just look at the top 20 members and who's taking money from the financial and insurance and real estate sector, you can see right here, I don't know what it is about Georgia politicians, whether it's Republican or Democrat, don't matter. They're for the top 5 candidates in 2020 taken from this sector right here. But you can look down the list. It don't matter, Democrat, Republican, they're all taking millions of dollars from this sector. And that's just the top 20 right there. And you can see right here, finance, insurance, and real estate, money to Congress. And look at that. That is like $500 million. Yeah, it's more than $500 million right there. And I found this right here. I found this interesting. This is 2020, April last year. And it says right here, we have 51% in Congress are millionaires, but only 5% of millionaires actually in the total country. And I just had to throw that last one in there because I hear a lot of people, whether it be family, friends, whatever it is, saying they don't understand why Congress does some of the things they do and they just don't feel represented. And I say, well, are you a millionaire? And they say, no. And I say, well, there you go. You got over half your people representing you are millionaires. So, understand when they do these actions, I always say it's not what's best for the country, it's what's best for their portfolios. That's what you got to understand. So not only are they getting lobbied and getting a whole boatload of cash, they put these leadership packs, right, to carry around with them for life. They got major investments in the stock market and things like that. And you got to think to yourself, if you got a guy, I don't know if you remember this, and it's the head of a committee, he can't figure out the difference between an iPhone and an Android phone. I think it was last year this happened. And so if he can't figure out the difference between an iPhone and Android, and trust me, I'm technologically challenged, but even I know the difference between an iPhone and an Android. How in the world is this dude going to understand anything about cryptocurrency? And so, the one thing I can't figure out though is, and let me know in the comments what you think, when she's talking about these financial institutions lobbying behind the scenes, it sounds to me like she's saying they're basically trying to go against cryptocurrency and trying to make sure it gets taxed and maybe slow down the evolution of cryptocurrency. And I could be totally wrong, but I just kind of felt like that was the sentiment. And so let me know in the comments. I may be wrong. I watched it 4 times and I'm sitting going, is she saying they're trying to help this out, help cryptocurrency out, or hurt it? I can't really just get the distinction. So let me know what you think. That's kind of what I think on it and everything. And so, now taking a look at this is where she's concerned. You can see she's concerned right here about this, and she makes totally valid points.
We believe that the tax that they're trying to enact here would really harm the evolution of DeFi, decentralized finance, which is based primarily on the Ethereum network. As opposed to Bitcoin. Now, we're not happy about this at all. And in fact, we worry that our legislators could, with an act like this, chase away technology from our shores. Already, the U.S. has had a terrible reputation in terms of regulation around crypto assets, partly because there are so many regulators and they don't agree with one another on even what these crypto assets are. We believe they're a new asset class, but I think our regulators have been trying to put them into an existing asset class and treat them accordingly. We are hoping that they will be getting a lot of pushback. In fact, we are hearing they're getting a lot of pushback with voicemail. Who uses voicemail anymore? But voicemail apparently for many policymakers full. It's activated a lot of the crypto community and a lot of the innovation community because we don't want to chase innovation away from our shores. And I think that if we were to frame this and say, and I'll quote John Lilly, who was on our brainstorm today, if we were to frame this and say, this would be a lot like regulating and taxing the internet in the early 90s, before it was really a gleam in the eye of many businesses.
And so this is nothing new. This is something we've been, basically since the beginning of time, right? Anytime some new technology comes out, other companies want to hold on to their market share. They're being threatened by that technology, and they try to lobby Congress to slow it down, all that good stuff. And again, this just goes back to, another thing about crypto you got to think too is, politicians in this country are kind of older, right? We don't have a lot of young politicians up there compared to people who are at least 55 or above. That's probably, I think the majority of them are 55 or above. So most of them are in retirement age, near retirement age. We got politicians in the 80s and 90s at the federal level. So, it's one of those things you got to think to yourself, are they really into crypto that much? Probably not. All right. Now, most of them sure don't understand anything about it. And so for them, these lobbyists, if they are going behind, they're trying to get them to slow down the spread of cryptocurrency and the rise of it, are telling them, hey, the more money that flows into cryptos, the less money flowing into stocks you own and things of that nature, and ETFs and things like that. So, you got to think that as well. But the good thing is, this infrastructure bill has a really good shot at passing in the Senate, and the House will be, another sideshow, and they'll go back and forth. But the reason why I think there's a really good shot at the infrastructure bill passing because they need Republican votes, right? We know the Democrats are going to vote for it. It's in the political show, and I have my opinions, but I don't put them out here. But just speaking factually, midterms, usually the party that's not in power picks up more seats during the midterm elections right after the presidential election, okay? So this time it should be Republicans picking up the Senate and then picking up seats in the House, which is already a very contested House to begin with. And the last thing anyone want to do is piss a lot of people off. And remember, this infrastructure bill, if it passes, you're talking about a lot of blue-collar workers getting jobs, okay, and good paying jobs at that. And so, that's one reason I can definitely see it passing, helping the states in the South, the Midwest, things like that, because roads, bridges, all that stuff, putting in charging infrastructure, right? Those are blue-collar jobs. And so that's still the majority of America, believe it or not white-collar, okay? And so I can definitely see that helping out a lot, and I can see them, at least enough of them, voting to pass something. And so that's why I say Monday, you know, you should see, it depends on what happens tomorrow. Remember, this doesn't pass the bill in the Senate. This passes lowering down in the amount of amendments and debate and all that stuff so they can get to the vote. And so if they definitely get this vote passed tomorrow, yeah, you should see the stock market move higher Monday. I mean, it would make sense, right? You never know. Obviously, the market's kind of all over the place right now. And so, but you should see that, okay? And so that's why I can see this happening for those two reasons, really. But you also should see these stocks Monday have a chance to move up, which is going to be, you know, John Deere, Vulcan, Caterpillar, Cleveland Cliffs, ChargePoint. And I thought it was interesting. I think it's on a ChargePoint, but I looked at Blink Charging since ChargePoint's so far down this year. And look at Blink Charging. I mean, Blink Charging's not even anywhere near down as far as ChargePoint is this year. And it's a stock that moves up and down, but it's kind of just traded sideways in a way since the beginning of the year, while ChargePoint just fell off a cliff. And so that's another stock to keep an eye on because it has way less shares outstanding. I've never owned it, but you know, it can move fast. It has a much higher 52-week high than ChargePoint does, but it's so much smaller. But the amount of shares, right, their market cap is so much smaller than ChargePoint is insane. And so that's another one to keep an eye on as well. So I just want to put that out there. But hopefully you got some out of this. We'll see what happens tomorrow. If they do pass the bill tomorrow, which I'll be shocked if it does pass tomorrow without having to go into next week, I'll give you all an update on that as well. So hit the like, subscribe button. You know, if you got anything out of this, I really appreciate it. And maybe I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Saturday.